Hashtag the real reason you can't get motivated, and the fix takes 5 minutes. Hook. What if I told you that waiting to feel motivated is actually the worst thing you can do? That the entire way most people think about motivation is completely backwards? Because here's the truth. Motivation doesn't come before action. It comes after it. And once you understand the science behind why, you'll never struggle to start again. Why this matters? We've all been there. You have a goal, a big one. Maybe it's getting fit, building a business, finishing a project that's been sitting on your desk for 3 weeks. And every single morning you wake up and you think, today's the day. Today I'm going to feel ready. But the feeling never comes. So you scroll. You watch one more video. You tell yourself you'll start after lunch. And then after dinner. And then tomorrow. And the crazy part? You're not lazy. You're not broken. You're just operating on a completely wrong model of how motivation actually works in the human brain. Today we're going to fix that. We're going to look at the actual neuroscience, the stuff coming out of labs at Stanford and beyond. And then I'm going to give you a specific protocol you can start using today. Not tomorrow. Today. This is going to change how you work. Let's get into it. The science. Okay, so let's talk about what's actually happening in your brain when you feel motivated or when you don't. Study number 1. The dopamine system, asterisk asterisk. Most people think dopamine is the pleasure chemical. You do something good, you get a hit of dopamine, you feel great. Simple, right? Wrong. Neuroscientist Andrew Huberman, along with decades of research from his colleagues, explains that dopamine is not actually about pleasure. It's about pursuit. It's about the drive to go and get something. The craving, the wanting. Here's the key insight. Dopamine is released in anticipation of a reward, not just when you receive it, which means your brain is designed to motivate you toward effort, but only if you set it up correctly. When you have a clear target, something specific you're moving toward, your dopamine system fires up. It creates that feeling of drive and energy. But when your goal is vague, when you just think, I want to be successful or I want to get healthy, your brain doesn't know what to chase. And without a clear target, the dopamine system basically sits there doing nothing. This is why vague goals kill motivation before it even starts. Study number 2. The visual system and motivation, asterisk asterisk. Here's something wild that most people have never heard of. Huberman talks about research showing that your visual focus is directly linked to your motivational state. When you narrow your visual gaze, when you literally focus your eyes on a specific point, your brain shifts into a state of heightened alertness and drive. Think about an athlete right before a race. What are they doing? They're staring down the track. They're locked in. That's not just a mental trick. That's biology. When you diffuse your gaze, like when you're lying on the couch staring at the ceiling or passively scrolling your phone, your brain moves into a more relaxed, unfocused state. Your autonomic nervous system actually downregulates your arousal levels. So the environment you're in and literally where your eyes are pointed is affecting your ability to feel motivated. That's powerful information. Study number 3. Effort and reward. The reframe that changes everything. Asterisk asterisk. This one is my favorite. And it comes from research on what Huberman calls dopamine schedules. Here's the problem with most people's relationship to hard work. Every time you do something difficult, every time you sit down to write, to train, to study, your brain is comparing the effort to the reward. And if the effort feels bigger than the reward, your brain starts to resist. But here's the fix. Research shows that you can actually teach your brain to find the effort itself rewarding. How? By deliberately attaching positive meaning to the friction. When you're in the middle of something hard and uncomfortable, instead of thinking, I want this to be over, you practice thinking, this feeling of difficulty is the signal that I'm growing. This isn't just positive thinking. This is neurological reprogramming. Studies show that when subjects were trained to reframe stress and effort as meaningful and productive, their dopamine response to that effort actually increased over time. They started to enjoy hard work, not because it got easier, but because their brain started releasing dopamine during the effort, not just at the finish line. That's the game changer right there. The protocol. All right, so here's exactly what to do. This is a 5-part daily protocol based on everything we just talked about. Step 1. Set a single concrete target for the day, asterisk asterisk. Not 5 goals. Not a list of 20 tasks. One primary target. Something specific and completable. Not work on my project, but Write the first 500 words of Chapter 2. Your dopamine system needs a clear thing to chase. Give it one. Do this every morning before you open your phone. Takes about 2 minutes. Step 2. Do the visual focus drill, ***. Before you start your work session, pick a point in front of you, a spot on the wall, a corner of your screen, anything, and hold your gaze there for 30 to 60 seconds. Don't look around. Just hold it. This sounds almost too simple, but what you're doing is shifting your nervous system into a state of focused alertness. You're essentially priming your brain for work. Athletes do versions of this before competition. You can do it at your desk. Step 3. Start before you feel ready, ***. This is the big one. Remember what we said at the beginning, motivation follows action, it doesn't precede it. The research is clear. The dopamine spike that creates the feeling of motivation often comes after you begin, not before. Your brain needs evidence that something is happening before it commits resources to it. So your rule is this: you do not wait to feel like it. You set a 2-minute timer and you start. Just 2 minutes. Tell yourself you only have to do 2 minutes. Because here's what happens. Once you start, the dopamine kicks in, the resistance drops, and most of the time you keep going. Start before you feel ready. Every single time. Step 4. Embrace the friction out loud, ***. When you hit a wall, and you will, instead of stopping or distracting yourself, say this either out loud or in your head. This is the work. This is exactly where I'm supposed to be. You're training your brain to associate difficulty with progress. You're building that dopamine during effort response we talked about. Over time, this literally rewires how your brain experiences hard work. Step 5. End with a completion anchor, ***. When you finish your work session, take 30 seconds to acknowledge what you did. Not in a self-congratulatory way, just a simple mental note. I said I would do this. I did it. This closes the dopamine loop. It tells your brain that effort leads to completion, which leads to reward. And that makes it easier to start tomorrow. You're building a track record with yourself. And that track record becomes the foundation of real, lasting motivation. Common mistakes. Now let me save you from the traps that most people fall into, even people who know this stuff. Mistake number 1. Relying on motivation to show up naturally, ***. We talked about this, but it bears repeating because it's so deeply ingrained. Most people are waiting for the feeling before they act. That's like waiting to be hungry before you decide to buy food. You've got the sequence backwards. Action first, feeling second. Mistake number 2. Using too many rewards, ***. This one is counterintuitive. If you reward yourself after every single small task, a treat, a social media break, a little celebration, you can actually undermine your dopamine system. Research shows that too many external rewards can reduce your internal drive over time. Use rewards sparingly. Let the work itself become the reward. That's the long game. Mistake number 3. Multitasking during work sessions, ***. Remember the visual focus research? Every time you switch tasks, you're resetting your brain's arousal state. You're breaking the focused tunnel that drives performance. Single task, one thing at a time. Your output quality will double. I'm not exaggerating. Mistake number 4. Massive goals with no immediate target, ***. Big goals are great for direction, terrible for daily motivation. You need both. The big vision gives you meaning. The small daily target gives your dopamine system something to fire at. If you only have the big goal and no clear daily step, your brain doesn't know where to start. And so it doesn't. Mistake number 5. Quitting when it gets uncomfortable, ***. The discomfort you feel when you're deep in hard work, that's not a stop sign. That's a signal. That's your brain telling you this is where growth lives. The people who learn to stay in that discomfort, even for just a little longer each time, are the ones who build real momentum. Don't run from the friction. Run toward it. Closing. Here's the bottom line. Motivation is not a personality trait. It's not something you either have or you don't. It's a biological system. And like any system, it can be trained, optimized, and used intentionally. You now know that dopamine drives pursuit, not just pleasure. You know that your visual focus affects your drive state. You know that you can train your brain to find effort rewarding. And you have a 5-step protocol you can start using today. The only question is whether you will. Because knowledge without action is just entertainment. And I don't think you're here to be entertained. I think you're here to actually change something. So here's what I want you to do right now. Before you click on anything else, before you scroll to the next thing, pick your one target for today. Set a 2-minute timer and start. That's it. That's the whole game. And if you're going to try this protocol today, if you're actually going to do it, comment the word protocol down below. Not because it helps the algorithm, but because the act of committing publicly is itself a dopamine trigger. You're starting the process right now, in this moment, by saying it out loud. Comment protocol if you're doing this today. And if you want to go deeper on the neuroscience of performance, focus, and building systems that actually stick, subscribe and hit the bell. We put out new videos every week, and every single one is built on real science with real protocols you can use. I'll see you in the next one. Remember, small consistent actions compound over time. Comment protocol if you're going to try this today. If this video helped you, like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. See you in the next one.